The hallway of Aozora Apartments was silent, the yellow lights humming. Then, a door burst open.
Daddy? I knew you'd come back for me.
Before the man could react, a small body slammed into his legs, little arms locking around his knees.
Kazu, what is this? Who is she?
The coffee mug in her hand fell, bursting against the floor. Dark liquid splashed over her boots.
Number, this can't be happening. Not now. Not in front of her.
I missed you so much. Mommy said you were gone forever, but I knew you'd find us.
For a suspended heartbeat, the four figures were a frozen tableau. Joy, horror, confusion, and dread all colliding in that narrow space.
A daughter. He has a daughter, and he never told me.
How did it come to this? The answer begins 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Kazu walked through his front door and felt something wrong. The apartment was too still.
Kazu, Siamese, I am not staying.
What is this? Eri, where's Yuki? What's going on?
She's safe. We're leaving tonight. Don't make this harder.
You can't just leave. Whatever is wrong, we can fix it. Please, Eri.
But she didn't even look at him. She just stood up and walked toward the bedroom where the bags were already packed. Within the hour, Yuki was whisked into a taxi, clutching a stuffed bunny, while Kazu stood frozen in the doorway. Then the days after were a blur of empty rooms and silence. He sat in the dark, head in his hands.
I won't give up. I'll find her, no matter what it takes.
Thus began a relentless search, calling old friends, checking records, chasing leads that went nowhere. But he would not stop. 2 years passed with no trace. Then, a routine property investment lead landed in his inbox.
Eri, this can't be a coincidence. It's her name.
An old apartment building in a quiet neighborhood was going cheap, and the tenant roster held the name he never stopped looking for. He didn't hesitate. Within a week, the purchase was finalized. He was now the owner of Aozora Apartments.
Now you'll have to face me. Every month, every payment. I'll be there.
The day after closing, he stood before the aging building. Each window felt like a page from his past. The sign reading Aozora Apartments seemed ordinary, but to him, it was the threshold of revenge.
2 years I searched. Now I hold the leash. Let's see how you like being cornered.
That night in his empty apartment, he opened the management files. Her rent was surprisingly low. He picked up the phone to issue the first order as landlord, a 40% rent increase, effective immediately. The next morning, Eri found the notice taped to her door. Her eyes scanned the paper, widening with every line.
40%? This can't be legal. The new owner is insane.
She stormed down the hall to the management office and pounded on the door with both fists, her face twisted in fury.
Open this door. I know you are in there. You can't just raise my rent by 40%.
The door swung open. Eri stormed inside, ready to unleash, then froze mid-step, her words dying in her throat.
You? What are you doing here? How is this possible?
Behind the desk, Kazu leaned back in his chair, his expression unreadable. He calmly slid a sheet of paper across the polished wood.
If you can't afford it, move out. But we both know how hard it is to find a decent place on short notice, especially with a child.
He planned this. He bought the whole building just to trap me, and I have no way out.
Her hand trembled as she snatched the lease terms. She turned and stumbled out, the door clicking shut behind her, leaving only silence. That evening, the weight of the confrontation settled over Kazu like a second skin. He climbed to the rooftop, seeking air that didn't feel so heavy.
Rough day. You look like you need this more than I do.
I didn't order anything. Who are you?
I am Hana. I rent the unit across from 204, saw the new landlord, and figured you could use a welcome, and some terrible instant coffee.
The coffee was cheap and slightly burnt, but it warmed something inside him he'd thought had frozen over long ago.
So, what made you buy this old place? Most investors don't stick around to actually manage it.
Just an opportunity. Real estate's a safe bet these days.
She told him about her work, fixing pipes at 3 a.m., a raccoon in a vent, and then something unexpected happened. He laughed.
See? You are not as scary as you pretend. I'll bring coffee again tomorrow. Don't be late.
He watched her leave, the empty mug still warm in his hand. For the first time in years, the revenge that had consumed him felt a little further away. The next afternoon, Kazu found himself back on the rooftop before he even realized he'd climbed the stairs.
You came. I was starting to think you'd chickened out.
I just wanted some fresh air. The coffee is a bonus.
She handed him a cup, and they fell into an easy rhythm, her talking about her day, him actually listening.
So this morning, the boiler in 203 started spraying water everywhere. I had to crawl under the floor. Best day ever.
You really enjoy getting dirty and breaking things?
They talked about small things, the best instant noodles, the noisy neighbor on the 3rd floor. It felt normal.
Hey, Kazu, do you have family? You never mention anyone.
No one important. It's just me.
Something flickered in his eyes. A shadow Hana caught, but didn't press. Instead, she turned to the sunset, letting the silence speak. From her window, Eri watched the rooftop, Kazu and Hana laughing together. A cold knot tightened in her stomach.
He can laugh with her, but with me, only hatred. She doesn't even know what's coming.
Later, in the dim hallway, Eri stepped out of her apartment just as Kazu reached the stairs. She grabbed his arm.
Kazu, please, we need to talk about Yuki. She misses you so much.
There's nothing to talk about. You made your choice 2 years ago. Now live with it.
She asks for you every single day. Do you want her to forget you completely? Is that your revenge?
You should have thought of that before you took her. Stay out of my way.
Eri stood frozen as his footsteps faded. Then she heard a small voice behind her.
Mama, who is that man? He was talking to Hanani earlier on the roof. Number. She can't recognize him. Not now. Not like this. I have to keep them apart.
The next day, Hana knelt by the sink in the hallway, wrench in hand, when Kazu passed by with a stack of papers.
Hey, Kazu, that woman in 204. I saw you arguing yesterday. You seem really tense around her.
Just a difficult tenant. Nothing more. You know how some people are.
Right. Nothing more. But his voice was too flat. There's something he's not saying.
Meanwhile, in Unit 204, Eri had fallen asleep on the couch, exhaustion finally claiming her.
Mama's sleeping. Maybe I can find the man from the roof and ask him about Daddy.
Yuki slipped off the couch, her bare feet padding silently across the floor. She turned the door handle with both hands. The door creaked open a few inches, and Yuki slipped into the bright hallway, her bunny trailing behind.
What was that noise? A door, it sounded like? From 204.
But by the time she stood up, the hallway was empty again, except for a tiny, discarded bunny earpiece lying on the floor. That evening, a sudden storm lashed the building, and the lights flickered twice before plunging every floor into absolute darkness.
It's the main breaker. Kazu, grab the flashlights from the office. I'll check the elderly residence.
Shadows leaped as they moved. Somewhere down the hall, a child's whimper cut through the dark, and then Eri's frantic voice.
Yuki, hold my hand. Don't move. I can't see you. Don't let go. Mama, it's too dark. I am scared. Where's my bunny?
Then, in a swing of Kazu's flashlight, he saw her, Yuki, frozen in the middle of the hallway, arms reaching out blindly. Before he could think, small arms wrapped around his leg. He knelt, one hand cupping the back of her head.
It's all right. The lights will come back. I've got you.
The power surged back, flooding the hallway with harsh light. Yuki blinked, staring up at the face that held her. Her small brow furrowed.
Yuki, come here, now.
Kazu, about last night during the blackout. The way you held that little girl. It seemed like more than just helping a scared child.
She was frightened, and I was there. It doesn't mean anything. Just a reflex.
A reflex? No, your face was so gentle. There's a story here you are not telling.
Later, Kazu found a note under his door. He unfolded it and read, "Please, for Yuki's sake, just talk to me." He crumpled the paper in his fist, but his throat tightened. That night, unable to sleep, he stepped into the hallway and found Yuki sitting against her door, Bunny in her lap.
You are the man from the storm. You held me when it was dark.
She reached up and cupped his cheek with her small hand. He didn't pull away. From the stairwell, Hana froze, coffee mug trembling in her hand. The intimacy between them was unmistakable.
He has a child, and he's been lying about it this whole time.
The next morning, the hallway was thick with unspoken words. Hana walked beside Kazu, her eyes fixed ahead.
Kazu, last night I saw you with that little girl. I can't pretend anymore. Who is she really?
Before he could answer, a door flew open. Yuki burst into the hallway, her face lighting up with recognition.
Daddy? I knew it was you. You were the one in the storm. Mommy said you were busy, but I found you.
Kazu caught her, sinking to his knees as she wrapped her arms around his neck. The coffee mug slipped from Hana's hand.
Daddy, so he is her father. All this time, he was hiding a whole family.
Yuki, no, get away from him.
But Yuki refused to let go, her small fingers clutching his shirt. Kazu looked up at Hana, his eyes full of unspoken apology.
You have a daughter, and you lied to me. Why, Kazu? What else haven't you told me?
The building fell silent. Every secret Kazu had built his revenge on now lay shattered in the morning light.
Answer me, Kazu. You said you had no one. She's your daughter. Was everything between us just a lie?
Hana, let me explain.
Please, it's my fault. I kept Yuki from him. Don't blame him for my mistakes.
I don't care whose fault it is. You lied to me, Kazu. You made me feel like we had something real.
Hana turned and walked away, her back straight, but her shoulders trembling. The slam of her door echoed through the silent hallway.
Daddy, why is Hanani crying? Did I make her sad?
Kazu had no answer. He just held his daughter tighter, his heart a wreckage of shame and loss.
Kazu, maybe this is for the best. Now there are no more lies between us. We can start over.
Don't. You don't get to pretend this is a fresh start. You took her from me, and now you've taken Hana too.
He turned his back on her, carrying Yuki away. In the empty hallway, Eri's hopeful smile crumbled into silent tears. That evening, Eri found Kazu alone in the management office. She entered without knocking, a photo clutched to her chest.
Kazu, please, just hear me out. 2 years ago, I was drowning. Every day, I felt like I was failing as a mother. The postpartum depression was a fog. I couldn't stop crying. My mother kept calling, telling me to come home, that you were never around anyway.
He opened his mouth, but she raised a hand, her voice cracking under the weight of buried confessions.
I thought I was protecting Yuki from a broken mother and an absent father. I was scared I'd hurt her, or worse. Look at this. The day she was born, you were so happy we were a family.
Kazu stared at the photo, the three of them, smiling, impossibly young. His hand trembled as memory crashed back.
That was before I started working double shifts. Before you stopped talking to me, I didn't know you were suffering.
I should have told you. Instead, I ran. I am not asking for forgiveness. I just want Yuki to have her father.
For the first time, the cold wall between them cracked. He looked at her not as his enemy, but as the broken woman he'd once loved. That night, alone in his room, Kazu couldn't shake the image of Hana's tears. He picked up a pen. He wrote on a scrap of paper, "I am sorry I lied. I should have told you. Please let me explain." He slid the note under Hana's door and waited. No light came on, no footsteps. He pressed his forehead against the doorframe, then turned and walked away into the empty hallway. Later that night, Yuki woke up sobbing for her father. Eri rushed to her side.
Shh, shh. He's still here. Daddy is just down the hall. He hasn't gone anywhere.
In the hallway, Hana's voice came from behind her door. Quiet, but strained.
Eri-san, was Kazu always like this? Cold and secretive?
Number. He wasn't always cold, but I was gone first. Maybe he learned it from me.
There was no reply, only the soft sound of someone retreating deeper into the apartment. The next morning, the hallway was quiet again. Yuki slipped out of her apartment and knocked on Kazu's door with tiny, determined knuckles.
Daddy, are you awake? I want to see you.
The door swung open, and Kazu looked down, startled. Before he could react, a familiar voice came from down the hall.
She was wandering. You need to watch her.
Kazu's throat tightened. Hana's eyes were red, but she was still here, still trying to protect Yuki.
Hana, please, wait. I need to tell you everything, from the beginning. 2 years ago, Eri left with Yuki. I spent every day searching. When I found them, I bought this building to trap her, to make her pay. Then I met you. Your laughter, your terrible coffee. It made me feel alive. I didn't want to taint that. I was a coward.
Hana's eyes welled up. She didn't speak, but she didn't turn away. Yuki tugged at her sleeve. For a long moment, the only sound was the hum of the hallway lights. Then Hana's lips parted, but no words came.
I can't talk about us right now. This is too much. But she needs her father.
She turned and walked away, one hand pressed to her mouth. Yuki pulled at Kazu's sleeve, confused.
Daddy, is Hanani still mad? Can we draw a picture for her? Kazu, I've been watching. Yuki is happy. I want to cancel the rent increase. No more revenge. We can share custody. Weekdays with me, weekends with you. Whatever works. I just want peace.
I am not forgiving you, but for Yuki, I'll agree. The rent goes back to normal.
I heard what Eri offered. That took courage. But I need space, Kazu. I can't pretend the lies didn't hurt, but I see how you are with Yuki. That's the real you. Maybe one day, I can trust that again.
I'll wait, however long it takes. Just don't disappear completely.
That evening, in Hana's kitchen, Yuki helped her bake cookies. Flour dusted their cheeks as laughter finally returned to the building. The following week, Eri packed her things into cardboard boxes, the apartment growing emptier with each one.
Mama, is it okay if I am a little sad and a little happy? Of course it is, sweetheart. Change is like that. But we're still a family, just reshuffled.
She slipped a thick envelope from her pocket and balanced a box on her hip.
Here, read it when you are ready. It's everything I couldn't say.
The top of the letter read, "I never told you about the nights I cried myself to sleep, afraid I'd hurt her." Kazu stared at the envelope, his thumb resting on the sealed flap. An hour later, Eri stood in the hallway, the key to her old apartment dangling from her finger.
Thank you for the cookies, for the laughter. She's going to be just fine with you both.
Take care of yourself, Eri-san. I hope you find your own peace, too.
Eri gave a small, watery smile and nodded. As she disappeared down the stairs, the tension in the building seemed to dissolve. Kazu stood in his doorway, letter clutched to his chest, watching the empty space where she had been. Weeks slipped by. The building breathed easier, and one quiet evening, Kazu sat in the management office. Eri's letter finally opened in his hands. Her words covered pages. "I know I broke you. I hope one day you can forgive me. For Yuki's sake, and for your own." The last of his bitterness dissolved. He folded the paper and walked out, his steps lighter than they had been in years. On the rooftop, Hana leaned on the railing, a single coffee cup beside her. The sunset streaked the sky like a promise.
I didn't know if you'd come. I've missed our terrible coffee.
I love you, Hana. Not because I need you, but because you taught me how to be whole again.
I was scared you were just using me to escape. But watching you with Yuki, I knew I couldn't stay away.
She closed the distance, and their lips met a gentle, certain kiss as the first stars appeared.
Hanani, are you going to be my new mama now?
Kazu scooped her up, and Hana wrapped her arms around them both. Laughter filled the rooftop, and the building he bought for revenge became the home he never thought he'd have again. Morning light streamed through the hallway windows, and Yuki's laughter bounced off the walls as she raced to the bus stop.
Bye-bye, Daddy. Hanani, don't forget to water my sunflowers.
Kazu waved, then turned to greet an elderly tenant with a smile that no longer felt forced. Inside, Hana knelt by a leaky pipe, her tool belt clinking as she hummed. The building hummed back, alive with small repairs and quiet care. The rooftop garden burst into color. Sunflowers, just like Yuki asked, reached for the sky. One afternoon, Yuki proudly taped a drawing to the management office door.
Look, it's me, Daddy, and Hanani. Now everyone will know we're a family.
Kazu and Hana stood behind her, hands intertwined, watching their little world settle into place. The building he bought for revenge now hummed with the quiet rhythm of a community and the laughter of a new family. Soon, Eri would return for a brief visit, bringing closure and the final piece of their peace. One sunny afternoon, Eri appeared at the building entrance, a small wrapped box in her hands. She hesitated, then stepped inside.
Mama, you came. Look, Daddy and Hanani made a sunflower garden.
I missed you too, sweetheart. I brought you something.
Eri, I read your letter. I am sorry too, for everything.
Thank you. And thank you for giving her a real family. I can see she's happy. Would you like to stay for dinner? We push 2 tables together now. Another time, I should go, but I'll visit every other Sunday if that's okay.
Yuki hugged her mother one more time, then ran back to Kazu and Hana. As Eri walked away down the sunlit street, her silhouette was lighter, no longer weighed down by guilt. Inside the building, a new family photo found its place on the mantel, a testament to the home healed from revenge. That night, the rooftop was silent, except for the distant hum of the city. Kazu and Hana sat side by side, a blanket wrapped around their shoulders. Kazu looked down at his left hand, where the faint tan line of his old wedding band still lingered.
It's time. That part of me is over.
He slipped the old ring off his finger and placed it in a small velvet box. Then Hana took his hand.
A new beginning. Not for forgetting, but for building something we chose.
I never thought I'd get a second chance at this. Thank you for waiting.
They leaned against each other, gazing at the stars. Below them, Yuki slept peacefully in her room, Bunny tucked under her arm.
Do you ever think about what would have happened if you hadn't bought this building?
I'd still be lost. This place, against all odds, brought me back.
And so the man who bought a building for revenge found not vengeance, but a home, and a love that rebuilt him from the inside. The next morning, the management office was filled with light. Yuki's drawing, now framed, hung on the wall. That simple sketch, 2 adults and a child holding hands, captured everything this building had become. A place where a man had tried to collect a debt of pain only to find himself forgiven, loved, and finally whole. She took his daughter, and so he became her landlord. But he ended up becoming so much more. A father who chases his daughter's laughter down the hallway. A partner who holds hands under the rooftop stars. A man who built his own home, brick by brick, from the ruins of revenge. The Aozora apartments stood quiet, every window lit like a promise kept, and the man who had once been a landlord fueled by anger had become a husband, a father, and a keeper of a home. The end.